Hello, welcome to Getting Started With, where our job is to make your job easier. On this episode, we're getting started with conflict and negotiation skills. In this video, you'll learn why conflict is a normal part of audit work, what the standards say about difficult conversations, how to handle pushback in the moment, and what auditors can negotiate and what they can't. So, let's get started. Let's be honest about something right away. Conflict, it comes with the territory. If you do this job well, you will sometimes deliver news that people don't want to hear. That's not a sign you're doing something wrong, it's just a sign that you're doing your job. Think of it like this. When you share a tough finding, you and the manager receiving it can feel like two people standing on opposite sides of a river. You see a control weakness, they see their team's hard work. The gap between you is real. Negotiation skills are how you build a bridge across that gap to address the conflict. You don't pretend the river isn't there. You build a way to meet in the middle so both sides can move forward. And here's the good news. Bridge building is a skill, and skills can be learned. But before we pick up any tools, there's one quality every bridge builder needs. That leads us to our first term to learn, professional courage. The Global Internal Audit Standards describe it as communicating truthfully and taking appropriate action, even when confronted by dilemmas and difficult situations. In plain terms, professional courage means you don't soften a finding or stay silent just because the conversation might get uncomfortable. So, what do the standards say? Standard 1.1, Honesty and Professional Courage, sets the tone for every difficult conversation you'll have as an auditor. It requires internal auditors to be truthful, accurate, clear, open, and respectful, even when expressing skepticism or offering an opposing viewpoint. Notice that respect sits right beside honesty in that requirement. Professional courage is not about winning an argument, it's about being honest and respectful at the same time. Hold on to that idea, because everything else in this episode builds on it. So, what do you do when a conversation gets tense? 3 things. First, stay curious, not defensive. When someone pushes back on a finding, resist the urge to defend your work. Ask a question instead. Something like, help me understand. What is your concern? Curiosity lowers the temperature. Defensiveness raises it. Second, focus on the evidence, not the person. A finding is about a control, a process, or a result. It is never about whether someone is good at their job. Keep your language pointed at the process. Third, listen first, respond second. People are far more willing to step onto the bridge when they feel heard. And sometimes, the pushback you're hearing contains information that makes your finding stronger. Here's a pro tip. When a conversation heats up, bring it back to the evidence. Facts are neutral ground. You might say, let's look at the testing results together. That moves the discussion away from opinions and personalities and back to something you can both examine. Think of the evidence as the first plank in your bridge. You might not think of yourself as a negotiator, but negotiation is part of the job. Auditors negotiate scope and timing, access to people and records, management action plans, and how findings are worded. So what is key to effective negotiation? Learning to listen for interests, not just positions. A position is what someone says they want. An interest is why they want it. Say a manager tells you, we need 3 more weeks before you can start testing. That's a position. The interest behind it might be a major system launch her team is racing to finish. Once you understand the interest, you have options. Maybe you test a different area first, or schedule around the launch. The goal is an outcome both sides can support. After all, a bridge is only useful if both sides can cross it. The standards back this up too. Standard 11.2, Effective Communication, calls for audit communications to be constructive, delivered with a cooperative and helpful tone that supports collaboration. Now for the boundary that matters most. Watch out for negotiating the facts. Timelines are negotiable, action plans are negotiable, wording can be discussed, but the facts and the evidence are not up for negotiation. If your testing shows a control failed, that finding doesn't get bargained away because someone pushed back hard. Standard 1.1, Honesty and Professional Courage, is clear on this. Internal auditors must not make false, misleading, or deceptive statements, nor conceal or omit findings or other pertinent information from communications. So be flexible on the how and the when, but be firm on the what. And if you ever feel pressured to change a result, talk it through with your supervisor. The standards point to that as well. You never have to build a bridge alone. Let's recap. Conflict is a normal part of the job, and handling it well is a skill you can build. Standard 1.1 requires honesty, respect, and professional courage all at the same time. When you negotiate, listen for interests, not just positions. And above all, negotiate the how and when, never the facts. Thanks for watching Getting Started with Conflict and Negotiation Skills. If you found this helpful, check out Getting Started with Path to Promotion, where communication and collaboration show up as core competencies, and Getting Started with Understanding Enough Evidence, because strong evidence is the foundation of every confident conversation. You can find these and other helpful resources, including tools, podcasts, and training, at the links below.